We're back online, I think. So, welcome back. Sorry about that. We're having technical dramas. The game froze on me, and people took their sweet time getting the invites back out. So, thanks to Kyle for giving me an invite. We'll just now wait for everything to be put into play. We're back in now, and we're good to go. And it looks like Guy won't be joining us in commentary today, so it'll be a solo effort from me today. We're watching Nicholas Adams in the Williams take charge in the conditions at the moment. Bo Vandenberg has taken pole position currently with a 1 minute 42.7, followed by David Edwards with a 43.7. Then it's Albert Ramirez Garcia in position 3 from Tyler Beasley, Ethan Lossings, James Tamayo, Alex Reese, and then we've got Nicholas Adams here, Kyle Wilson, Ken Doyle, and then the new guy of Cos Ricky. We'll just call him Cos. And we'll now have some extra invites. So what I might do is just take this moment here to persuade another member to join me in the commentary box. Oh no, he's just bloody vanished. Okay, so Axel Ericsson's out of the question. I'll just check something here, and then no, it doesn't look like I'll be able to do it. I should have done it right from the start. I could have brought in our championship points leader from the F1 category, Daniel Vale, in to join us in commentary, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. And now David Edwards has had an off somewhere, and that's ended his qualifying session. I wonder if we'll be able to find out where that was. Anyway, we're going to ride on board here with Tyler Beasley here as we tackle the Belgian Grand Prix circuit, and heading into... I actually don't know these corner names very well, so I've just noticed actually, and I think my partner could vouch for me on this, it's starting to rain on our screen. So, and this track is bad even in the dry, so when you throw rain into the mix it gets worse. So rain now hampering the conditions of the drivers. Everyone who's pretty much doing a flying lap right now will pretty much start on these tyres, unless of course it gets condemned as a... Ooh, we got a 5-place grid penalty for... Ooh, yep. So we had an incident between the two teammates, and as a result, Jaime has been given a 5-place grid penalty for his actions. We'll just wait and see. I'd say the weather would probably have played a part in it all. But if it does get condemned as a wet qualifying, it does mean that every driver will be given a shot to basically pick whatever tyre they want at the start, post-pending if it's supposed to be wet for the start of the Grand Prix. It's hard to say. We'll figure that out as time draws along. So Cos Ricky is also retired from the session, as has Kyle Wilson. Bo Vandenberg has come out and he's using the intermediate tyres to get some practice in. So one would usually guess that because of the weather being as it is, and anyone that would go out testing on the intermediate tyres would be pretty much assuming that it's going to be wet for the session. Now, Ken Doyle has also been disconnected as well, but he should be able to get back in no problem. It's just the spectators that don't seem to be able to get back in, which is a real pain in the ass for commentators, like if they get kicked out, or in my situation get the Red Bull screen of death, as I'll call it. So in any which case, we're just having a looking. So basically anyone now that can set a time on the intermediates, which I don't think he will, as we've just lost Ethan Lossings now. Whether he's just given it up or we've just lost him through a crash, it's hard to say. So Bo's done his installation lap, and that's pretty much him doing the run. So here comes Albert Garcia in his first flying lap on the intermediate tyres as well, heading through Eau Rouge, or as the most common meme has said, that's Radion actually. heading down the Kemmel Strait, and that'll pretty much put into perspective. This takes me back to sorry, the beta test back in 2017 when only one driver finished. I just noticed something here. Oh no, he's running the right number. I thought he was running the number 1 for a time there. And then we've just got a shot here of Tyler Beasley going off just in the... I know where that is, but I'm a bit confused on a couple of things. So for one, he's still running on the super soft tyres on pretty much treacherous icy conditions. And yeah, he's gone off in a very unusual spot as a result. Now, I wouldn't be going through here completely flat out and on dry tyres. I'd be cruising the car to pit lane and getting onto the inters or pretty much ending the session early, because we've only got 5.5 minutes on the clock, and I don't think the weather's going to calm down at any given stage. So it'd be better if the drivers were to just end the session, and then it would move things along quicker, because it doesn't look like we're going to have any indication. So it's a very disappointing grid today. If you think about it, if you take out Bo Vandenberg, Tyler Beasley and Cos Twitch, we've only got 8 people in today's lobby, so it's not the greatest turnouts this weekend, and I'm a bit disappointed that I've actually been drawn away to commentate a pretty poor grid size. So we'll just say that there's a couple of committee members that are going to be getting an earful on Monday morning about commitment to the cause. So just to let you viewers know the situation that kind of plays at hand is that as of the past, we used to bend the schedule of the race weekends on my schedule, because, you know, being the boss, I wanted to be able to partake in every race as possible, and unless something really drastically happened, like a hospital case or something like that, I would pull away and hopefully someone would take over. Now, the committee and I had come to a decision that we would stop doing that and run a normal calendar. And as opposed to that, if I missed a race, I missed a race. So this weekend I was supposed to have off, because of course it being my partner's birthday and whatnot, I wanted to make her day special. But the committee have seen fit to make excuses and put themselves in a position where I've had to come out of my break to do it. So I'm very bitterly disappointed with my committee right now, and I'm not the only one. And they're going to probably be not surprised, as we've seen Albert in the fence just in that shot there while watching Nicholas Adams. So the committee's going to understand that if you can't be trusted to host things while I'm away, well then we're going to have to put things back to where I'm in charge. So, oh, good shot there of Nicholas Adams having a spin around the last turn, getting on the gas too early, and Ken Doyle's managed to get back into commentary, we'll get back into the lobby, so that's... So, yeah, so again, I apologise that if I've been on a rant and a tangent. I'm just honestly not very happy that I've been dragged into do commentary today when I was meant to have the day off, and to top it off, that the attendance numbers have not met normal required standards. So yeah, the committee's going to cop a whack for this more than anything, because they assured me that it was supposed to be handled, but as the wise saying goes, sorry, the mascot's come in and is all rowdy. Sorry?
It's easier to do it yourself.
Exactly. So yeah, so if we start having more breaks more often, it's because we've gone back to the theory that the racing calendar is going back to fit my schedule, and if I'm busy that weekend with something, then nobody races. So to the racers who are watching this, not your fault in the slightest, not one bit. You guys are just here to do your racing, do your job and whatnot. But blame your committee members for that, because they seem to think it's funny to pull out at the last minute and then try and get someone else and try to rope someone else into the mix. So today's F4 race would not have been possible if it wasn't for yours truly, so let's show some appreciation for that, and appreciation for my partner who's having to deal with this when she shouldn't honestly have to, by liking and subscribing to the TNF1 channel and showing your support by wishing Shannon a happy birthday in the comment section below. So time's pretty much up now on qualifying for the F4 Belgium Grand Prix, and Bo Vandenberg is, though not racing in F4 anymore full time, has pretty much taken pole position. Still getting invites, which is good just in case things go astray, so that's good to know. We're just waiting for, oh no, never mind, he's done it for me. So that's pretty much qualifying over, and we'll be getting ready to start the race very, very shortly. We will have one extra person in Luke Ringham who will join us. Probably not in the car that he should be in, but we'll see. So Bo Vandenberg takes pole from David Edwards, with Albert Ramirez Garcia in third. Then it's Tyler Beasley, Ethan Lossings, James Tamayo, who will start at the back with a 5-place grid penalty. Will he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, he'll start in P12, so he'll be one position off the rear. Position 11, so he'll be one place off the rear. Then it's Alex Reese, Nicholas Adams, Kyle Wilson, Ken Doyle, and then Cos Ricky, our new driver that we don't actually know his name too. So I can guarantee you that I will not be here for F3. Hopefully Mackenzie can get his shit sorted out so that he can do that. So anyway, we're now about to get ready for the race for the Belgium Grand Prix F4 category, and the cars are all ready in pretty much now, just setting up, getting their setups and, well, not their setups, but their race strategy sorted out, their tyre choices, because I'd imagine it was a wet qualifying, which means that the pardon? Funny. Anyway, the formation lap are now about to get underway, and 12 cars will now take part in the Grand Prix, and it's Bo Vandenberg on pole position from David Edwards, and then Albert Ramirez Garcia, who is actually fourth on the track at the moment. Well, actually, he's quite far back down in the order of the in the formation lap. He's dropped a few places. Oh no, he's only dropped our position. But as per the rule of the formation lap, if you do drop behind a car in the formation, by any means necessary, you will not reclaim it, and so Albert is playing by the rules, which is good to see. Can we go a whole formation lap without a car being disqualified? Well, we're just having a look through the field at the moment. It looks like everyone's pretty evenly spread out, so that's good to see. Oh, we actually have lost someone now. We've lost James Tamayo. So, nope. My answer to that question is no. So let's have a look at the tyre. Let's look at the tyre situation. So we've got Bo Vandenberg on the super softs, as with David Edwards. Albert also on the super softs. Then we've got Tyler Beasley on the mediums. And then Ethan on the super softs. Alex on the softs, as are the rest of the field, down to Twitch Cozzy, and then the last three drivers, including Luke Ringham, our late driver, on the super soft tyres as well. So 22 laps around this 7.2 kilometre circuit. It's definitely one of the longest tracks on the calendar, which means, of course, a shortened amount of laps. One-stop strategy, undoubtedly, whether it's soft to supers, supers to mediums, mediums to softs, etc, etc, etc. So strategy will play a huge part in this today, and we'll see who can bring it out on top. So what we're going to do, interestingly, here is we're going to actually turn off the HUD and make the start a bit more realistic in a way. So oh, we've got something interesting here, but either way, the 5 lights are now about to build up. And it's lights out, and away we go for the first time in a long time, and it looks like it was a pretty decent start there by Bo Vandenberg. He's going to take him off into turn 1. We'll just have a look back and see how the rest of the field come out and through turn 1. It looks like everyone actually manages to get through turn 1 quite cleanly and valiantly. So beautiful moves there by everyone there. Now heading through Eau Rouge for the first time. Bo will lead them off from from Edwards, then it'll be Beasley, and we've already got, oh, and Alex is already in the fence through Eau Rouge. One would say there's no wing damage showing, so one would think he's probably done it to himself. There's a huge battle here as Cos Ricky is trying to, oh, there's been contact between him and Ethan Lossings. No, sorry, actually that was Kyle Wilson, sorry, not Ethan. So Kyle caught in the crossfire of the new driver. Well, I wouldn't call him a new driver yet. He still does need to register with us to be considered one. He's just been we'll see how that plays out in either which way, but either way, Bo Vandenberg just hasn't really started to pull an edge out to David Edwards yet, but he's still making ground. So your effective F4 order right now is David Edwards from Albert Ramirez Garcia's, then Ethan Lossing in P3. So everyone, apart from Alex, managing to get through quite cleanly. So we've already got someone in the fence here, and that's Nicholas Adams. So Nicholas has made a mistake, and that's not an actual hard place to lose the car. I've done that several times, and he's been lucky enough to come out of it with only losing his front wing. So Vandenberg leads from Edwards, then it's Beasley, Garcia in 4th, Lossing 5th, then it's Ricky, Ringham, Tamayo, Doyle and Wilson makes up the top 10, and as expected we see Adams in from position 11. He'll get on the he'll change his wing and probably change tyre strategy as well, and then of course Reese is out of the race with a problem, and now Beasley makes a move here through on Edwards. So job done there by that, but Edwards is not quite done with it yet. We've got an incident further down the field. I think it's hard to say. Maybe looks like it could have been Wilson having an off at Eau Rouge. He's lost quite a bit of ground all of a sudden, so we'll see how that's transpired. Either way, just watching Tomato there for a second. 2 cars with the 13. Oh yeah, of course, because Beasley's not in the race normally, so you'll see him again in F3. And we've just lost Nicholas Adams as well. One would guess that was Eau Rouge, as Riki now gets a 3-second time penalty for... Oh! Just missed that a little bit, but managed to catch a shot there of Tamayo going off circuit, and Doyle's now just joined him in there. So everyone's having a few offs here and there. It's getting quite intense there, but the battle for the front, yeah, Vandenberg has pulled away quite convincingly from Beasley and Edwards. And it looks like Ethan Lossings might have a case to answer for in regards to the Alex Reese incident, which I would say would have been Eau Rouge. So just have a look at Ethan's car and see if there's any notable wing damage, and if there is, then we might have a telling point, but it doesn't look like there is. So, and I think we just... Now, either Garcia just went into the fence at Radion, which it looks like he has, given by the state of his front wing, so I won't say anything more to that. And now we've got Garcia, we've got Tamayo and Wilson in to the pit, so I'm guessing that both of them have wing damage. So Wilson now on the mediums and Tamayo on the softs. And then Tamayo going heavily wide through Eau Rouge and Radion. So it's caught out a few people today already, but it looks like things are playing into perspective. So Edwards currently leading now from Ricky, then it's Lossings and Luke in position 4. And then Garcia in position... Oh, we've got a change for position here. Looks like... Edwards. So Edwards has made a mistake where it probably did not benefit him, and now he's going to come under siege here from Beasley's teammate of Ringham, who's normally in the Alfa Romeo Sauber, but of course he was late, so didn't get a chance to pick his car. So we'll see how this plays out in just a short minute here. And now, as expected, Garcia is in from position 7, although that is effectively position 5. So, like I say, so pretty much the top 2 drivers, well actually the top 3 drivers now at the moment are not racing for points. Ricky you could say is in a way, but because he's not registered to the TNF1, he's only driving today pretty much to show himself. Your current top 3 is now Ethan Lossings from Luke Ringham and David Edwards now in 3rd. So Ringham has made a move to position. So for these drivers, having a smaller grid does mean they've got more of a chance of claiming points. And as a result of that, we see pretty much a perspective of your battles. So, Edwards here with a massive moment coming through Pujon, car just stepped out from him in the middle of the corner, and he's had to kind of just push himself off the circuit a little bit to do it. And we've lost Vandenberg. Our race leader has binned it. Oh my, unbelievable scenes here, and it's not a hard place to do it, but he was so he was in control of the race lead, and he's throwing it away. That's unbelievable scenes. And he'll be just kind of sitting there going, what have I done to deserve this? But he's made a huge mistake where it counts. Well, when it didn't need to be, and he's cost himself potentially the race win, as we see David Edwards now going to pit lane. So unbelievable. So David Edwards now in the pits from position 5. Will be, could be under under threat here to potentially be jumped by Albert Garcia. We'll see in a second. So the service has been made. Let's see, there's the Mercedes there. So I think Edwards will actually come out quite clearly in front. So yeah, and Garcia's only just reaching turn 1 now. So Tyler Beasley now takes the lead of the race. He'll be wanting to make sure that he doesn't do the same thing that is just bear with me for a second, fellas. I just need to find something out. So, Cos Ricky currently here watching here in the 87 Ferrari will register him in, suffice to say where he'll end up is uncertain, because as it stands, although there is a seat, I think, pretty sure there is a seat actually vacant in F4 right now in the McLaren seat, and James Tamayo is not only disconnected from the session, he's actually had an accident. I don't know whether that was him or his ghost has had an accident, but it's the commentator, what do you know? Either way, so Ethan Lossing's currently leading the way effectively on track by F4 standards. Currently leads from Luke Ringham and now Ken Doyle on the podium in the Toro Rosso Honda, but some 11 seconds back from the other two. Lap 6 of 22 here, and it's pretty much been a very hectic race to say the least. We've had incidences, we've had moments, we've had the race leader put it in the fence when he was comfortably ahead, so you know, there's so many variables in the mix. But at the moment we haven't had a sound race leader, so hopefully we can see a bit of a stable hold on things, but we'll see a bit more action hopefully come up soon enough. We've got a battle here now developing for the race lead between, well, the effective race lead between Luke Ringham and Ethan Lossing. So Luke's been slowly bringing the gap down to the leader who's third on track effectively, and the mascot is here again to demand cuddles. But as I say that, Luke is now in, so I'm not sure what the space on the time frame for the super soft tyres are, but it doesn't seem to be very long considering a lot of drivers are now coming in to change tyres. So Luke's now jumping onto the mediums, and we'll just see if he's going to hold that position to he should do, because Edwards is only just reaching turn 1 now, and Luke is just reaching pit exit. So yeah, there's the gap there, and that's pretty much unchanged. And we've just... Oh, Ken! No, Ken, you were holding onto a P3 finish. Where have you done it, mate? Oh, he's done it up at Radion. Very easy to do, but that is just heartbreaking there for the Irishman who was looking for a potential P3 finish, and that's now going to put David Edwards back onto the podium despite all that. That corner has caught quite a lot of people out today, so we'll see how much further calamity we see. Now we've got an incident in Sector 2 already. Someone's had another off, although James Tamayo, despite everything at the moment, currently holds down first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth place. So he's still getting positions as these drivers digress. And I don't know. It's hard to say whether he's disconnected or anything, but at the moment it's showing. We've got another incident happening somewhere. Oh, hang on. No. Might have been on the account of Ethan pitting. It's hard to say. So, Lossings, is he going to lose the lead here to Luke? Yes, he actually is. Oh, it's going to be tight here. They're going to go side by side through, heading into Eau Rouge, but looks like Ringham has managed to get the undercut on Luke there. So, great job there by the Alfa Romeo, well, usual Alfa Romeo Sauber driver, and now he takes the lead of the Grand Prix, but he's going to get under attack here from Lossings, who's going to have DRS heading into the Kimmel Straight. In fact, Luke actually just drops in behind Lossings, and that's a position back. So, great battle there between the two drivers. Oh, Luke just got a little taily coming out of that corner, but it's actually given him the momentum to try and establish a move through, I can't actually remember what the corner name for that is, as they head into now what is called No Name. And now Puhon. Now, Puhon, you could do something here, but it is a bit touch and go. You don't want to be getting caught on the curve here in any stretch of the imagination, and so Luke got on the grass a bit, so he backed off to make sure he could avoid an incident there. Albert Garcia currently holding down P4 at the moment, some 4 seconds behind the top 3, and then you've got Kyle Wilson a further few positions back. But of course we've got Cos Ricky coming into pit lane, who again, like I say, will need to register to be warranted as a driver, so he won't earn points today, but if he joins us by next weekend, he will be able to earn points at the Italian Grand Prix, and what I would assume would be the McLaren, unless I've already put someone there. I don't know. I'm actually just going to try and have to remember that. I shouldn't be saying this stuff on I shouldn't be saying this stuff live to myself, but you know, not having a second commentator does kind of put things into perspective. Now, because Ricky's actually managed to put himself in a, not being silly mostly, but David Edwards, the guy that originally, they're obviously good mates or something, but at the Kimmel end of the Kimmel, but didn't pull it across, so has to still settle into what is still third on the circuit. It's just fifth on track at the moment, with of course Tyler Beasley not in the race normally, so we'll just see how long this plays out. This is actually going to be an interesting statement here. So we're going to take a quick break here at the moment, and when I come back, we'll go uninterrupted to the end. And we're back, and just in time to see Albert Ramirez Garcia earn himself a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits and all that kind of nonsense. Ethan Lossing still holding on to the lead. He's now managed to pull out a 2.3 second lead over Luke Ringham, with Kozricki now moving within DRS range of the Red Bull driver. David Edwards has also fallen back a little bit, but the contrast in the tyres is different because you've got Lossings on the soft tyre, as is Ricky, and then you've got David Edwards and Luke Ringham on the medium tyres, so that's where the difference lies in that. The same goes for Garcia on the softs, Wilson on the mediums, and then Tamayo, who is still probably trying to get back into the race on the soft tyres as well. So we'll see how long those tyres can hold out for each partaking party. Tyler Beasley will also give us an indication of how long the mediums will go for. Currently on lap 11 of 22 right now, and he's on 10 lap old tyres, so he should be expected to be in soon enough. We're just trying to look at the gap between him and Lossings, as cause Ricky now does the fastest lap of the race as he pursues the rear of Ringham here. So I repeat again, for those who are just viewing again, I'm in the commentary today because my committee is incompetent and had to pull me away from my weekend off to do it. But don't get me wrong, I will not be here for F3, F2 or F1, so I am missing this weekend's racing, but considering it's Belgium, I'm pretty damn happy that it's this weekend that it fell on. So for those who are asking why Belgium, Belgium and I have never seen eye to eye on the best of days. It's been a very rough circuit for me. Notorious, infamous, world's most embarrassing crash in the beta test when I drove in, tried to go into pit lane, turned in too early, and clipped the inner wall, which ripped my wheel off when I was running P3. Finished P3 through classifications because no one else behind me was in the race. And then last season, of course, the two moments in Pujon with the second one being the end to my race. So it pretty much said a lot. It says a lot about how much I enjoy the circuit, which I don't actually enjoy at all. It's too demanding. The setup concept behind it is too confusing because you've got to set the car up to be quick in a straight line as it is a power circuit, but you've also got to be able to have a car that holds stability in the corners, especially the high speed corners like Eau Rouge, Radion, the Pujon and all those kind of corners that don't require a hell of a lot of lift to get off. So as you see, watch Luke come through Eau Rouge, you can see there is a bit of lift involved in how he does it, as David Edwards now gets a 3-second time penalty. My guess would have been for cutting Eau Rouge, as the mascot comes in again for more cuddles. In fact, this time I'm going to bring the... So, say hello to the stream, the mascot. Oh! As she jumps on my partners, is to show her love for them. And as I've said before, it's also my partner Shannon's birthday today, so be sure to wish her a happy birthday in the comment section below if you're watching. I'd be more than appreciative of it given the circumstances that I'm doing this on her birthday, which I shouldn't be. This has become more of a rant than a commentary, so I do apologise for that too. There isn't a lot going on at the moment with Beasley pretty much running away with the race at the moment. Still hasn't come in after 12 laps on the medium tyre, and of course these medium tyres will be fresh as well given the state that they started on, pretty much fresh tyres, and so all these drivers will be doing their thing. So Lossings is now going to slowly find himself coming under attack from Kozricki in a short moment's time, with Luke starting to drop back, and then David Edwards, who is currently P3 on circuit. And now we've got Garcia coming in, only 8 laps on a set of soft tyres, so that could be an interesting telling point for someone like David Edwards and Luke Ringham. If they stay in this battle long enough, they could find themselves in a position where they could be taking this race win, as opposed to the tyres not holding on for the rest of the other drivers. So the one-stop strategy has kind of played into Luke's hands. And of course Luke also started at the back of the field too, so he may not win the race on track, but he will win the race. Well, he might be in a bit of trouble now because he just earned himself a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, but effectiveness by F4 standard, because you've got to take out Tyler Beasley because he's F3, he's just racing to fill numbers. And then you look at Kozriki, who's only racing to show his worth to join the TNF1. He's not actually in the F4 category at all. He's not even a registered member. But hopefully he will be in due course. So the effective positions right now are Lossing, Ringham, Edwards, Garcia, Wilson, and then Tamayo, who's hard to say whether he's back or not. But here we go. So here's the battle now that I see that it was about to happen between Lossings and Kozriki. Now Tamayo came in on 10 lap old soft tyre, so it looks like 10 laps could be the medium, but it doesn't look like drivers are really being able to match that pace. But of course Tamayo's car is being controlled currently by an AI, so the AI would look after its tyres better. Now here comes Kozriki down the inside of Lossings, and that'll be the battle for effective P2, but of course it is not a battle that Lossings needs to get himself involved in, so he'll just go back to the rhythm knowing he's leading the race right now. And hopefully things will come back into perspective shortly. Now I'm just going to take another quick break here and while there's a spare moment, and just got to make sure there's some vindication on something. Okay, so we rejoin the broadcast in time to see Tyler Beasley now come into pit lane from the lead, and will keep the lead heading into there as this battle between Lossings and Kozriki still hasn't kind of resolved itself in a little bit. Kozriki made the move a lap ago heading into the end of the Kemmel Straight, and it looked like he got the job done, but Lossings hasn't quite admitted defeat to that just yet, and is now trying to chase the Ferrari driver down. He won't be Ferrari next weekend if he does register. He'll be likely to be in the McLaren seat for that race. So we've got just over 7 laps to go, just got 7 laps now to go on the race, and it looks like Beasley will take a comfortable win. What's that? Oh, that was an interesting sound. Just I wonder if it was coming from me in any regard, but it doesn't sound or look like it. But either way, we'll press on. So the gap now has stabilised out to 1.3 seconds between Lossings and Kozriki, and the mascot is now on the prowl for something. And we'll have a look, go back a bit down the field and see Albert Ramirez Garcia down in P6, but will be currently on track P4 at the moment based on the conditions that are playing out at the moment. Everyone's kind of kept themselves out of trouble for the remainder of this race, so it looks like we might be set for a fixed race result as of this moment. So here's Kyle Wilson currently in P5 effectively, and then James Tamayo, who still hasn't looked like he's managed to get back in his car, currently holding down in P6. Oh no, actually might actually be back in his car now. Oh no, he's still ghosted, so disappointing there for James. Yeah, so Tyler Beasley doing it easy at the moment. but this battle for the front, well, actually this battle, which could have been the effective battle for the lead, raging on between Kozricki and Lossings as Ramirez does the fastest lap of the race on the soft tyre. So he's using the... Well, he's actually taken quite a fair bite out of those tyres to get that fastest lap in, so I would have thought Beasley would have punched out the fastest lap, as Kozricki now gets a 3-second time penalty, which could actually change the outcome of the on-track position as well as the effective position, because like I say, Kozricki's not for points, whereas Lossings is, so Lossings could take the notion and I could still effectively finish P2 on the track, but still take the victory in the F4 Championship race. We'll just see how it plays in. Hopefully we don't see anyone else bottle it with only so many laps left to go. As Tyler Beasley now does the fastest lap of the race. We'll take one more quick break here, and when we come back we'll conclude this race and interview the drivers. So we have 5 laps left to run here for the Transnation Formula 1 F4 category. Brett Keenan joined by himself in commentary today, running the gig because the committee members normally running the show are incompetent and have pretty much proven to me why I can't trust them with anything. So I'll be handling the F4 front today. I have absolutely no idea how the F3 is going to hold up. Don't really care today. And then of course we've got the F1 and the F2 tomorrow, which sets up an interesting championship stanza between Daniel Vale and John Lindberg. Of course, John Lindberg missing the Hungarian race last weekend, and Daniel with an impressive second place, meaning that Daniel was able to extend his championship points lead to great length. So Daniel looking very much set to be our Transnation Formula 1 World Champion for the first time this in his career, and only being in his second, well, I suppose you'd say it's one in his first full-time season in the sport, joining midway through F2 last season, and pretty much built his way up to being where he is now, F1 champion material. And then of course the rest of the championship pretty much playing out through the best of the rest between the two Mercedes drivers at the moment, with Guy Tasker in 5th place from George van der Brugge. So no, sorry, George the leading guy, my mistake there. So 4 laps left to run here, and Tyler Beasley's looking like he's got it controlled pretty much up the front, and he'll take a non-official race win in his books. Of course, he's now racing in McLaren for F3, so you'll see him again in roughly about an hour's time as we get ready for F3. Actually, I tell you one thing, I'm just gonna go quite honestly, honest to God, this is one last time. I'm gonna go quiet. And just send Right, sorry about that. People, I was just making sure that F3 would be accounted for, hopefully today, whether it be through broadcast or not. So, with only 2 laps left to go, it looks like Ethan Lossings is going to take his first career race win of this season, though effectively right now he's only in position 3, but still holding down the notion that if he keeps himself together right now, he could jump Kozricki for second on the track, but it's not like Kozricki is for position, so he'll be able to hold on to that win from Luke Ringham and then David Edwards. So USA on the top step, and then Britain making up the top 3, the last of the top 3, as Tyler Beasley now gets a time penalty for exceeding track limits, it looks like. Very interesting place they did. He must have done it on the outer part of Pujon. But either way, he's going to control the race to the end. 18 seconds clear of the rest of the field, so he's played a very brilliant strategy today by starting on the mediums and then running to the softs. So strategy not befallen to others. So what we're going to do here is ride on board with Ethan Lossings, and what we're going to do is take you around a virtual lap around the Belgian Grand Prix circuit, just to show, mostly to show my partner how treacherous the circuit is and why I hate it so much. So coming into the bus stop, the last 2 corners, you've got to be so precise getting into these corners to make sure you get a nice clean exit out and start your lap off fine. So heading now down to turn 1, it's a very tight, tricky corner, hard on the brakes, drop it about first gear, take your preference. Ethan takes in second, short shifts his way up through the gears, up to 6th. 7th gear, does he make 8th before Radio Rouge? Nope, holds it, and then changes into 8th, just on the point of Pujon, Radion and Eau Rouge to keep that traction down, heading down the Kemmel Straight, the fastest part of the whole circuit. Reach up to speeds of just over 300 kilometers an hour, hard on the brakes down into the set of chicanes. 4th gear he approaches in, which is quite interesting. Usually you take it about 5th, maybe 3rd, as he short shifts his way now down into Parabolica, I believe it's called, this corner actually. And then into No Name. This corner's caught out a few people in the past, just in the cambering nature of the circuit. And then my personal favourite corner, sarcasm intended, Pujon. So as he attends Pujon, that's Belgian. What do you expect? And then coming through the next set of fast corners, this part's not as bad, but if you go wide here, it usually does compromise you a little bit. And then this corner here, not as bad as this one right now. If you get this one wrong, you end up wide into that corner fence, and then that's usually game over. We saw Nicholas Adams end up in that part, and that was his race done, and that was only not that far into his stint pretty much, and then that was game over. So there's your virtual lap around the Belgian Grand Prix circuit at Spa-Francorchamps, and Tyler Beasley has now commenced the final lap of the Grand Prix, and he's going to take a non-official race win, and it will actually be his first race win despite it being non-official. And it's been a pretty good race, pretty tidy race for Tyler. I would imagine if Bo Vandenberg hadn't put in the fence, he would have been probably settling for P2 right now, but Luke's now just got himself a 3-second time penalty, but he's not really in a... He's going to be able to hold down P2 unless he's got a 3-second penalty more than David Edwards, but David Edwards will take another podium this weekend. That'll help him in his championship bid. In fact, I think it will put him in the championship points lead, what with Tyler Beasley, Rudy Randerderix, and Rajado Manderas and Bo all moving up to F3, which means their points get relegated. Of course, the constructors' points don't change, but the drivers do get taken away from those point systems. So here comes Tyler Beasley around the last 2 turns, and he will collect the on-track race win for today's Belgian Grand Prix. And we'll wait to see. And Kozricki on his non-official debut for the TNF1 will take P2. From the looks of it, a 4-second gap is more than enough to hold that position down. But here is our effective race winner. Ethan Lossings will win the F4 Belgium Grand Prix and will still take P2 actually through all that. So Ricky must have had more penalties at the end of the race for that to happen. So Luke will take effectively P2. We'll just wait for a second there to see if that's confirmed. Yes, it is. So we'll now be able to have a chance to talk to our top 3 drivers. I'll now just invite them into the party chat just to be sure about that. So oh, right, yeah, so I'm guessing he's appearing offline. That's probably why I can't find him. So there he is there. So we will bring them into party chat and have a chat with them. Reading a message there from Bo Vandenberg. It reckons that the car had a weird understeering moment and went off the circuit. So we'll just wait and see for our drivers to join into the commentary box and have a chat with us pertaining their race results. If not, within the next 2 minutes, then we'll wrap things up. And funnily enough, they actually put the dates of the Grand Prix on the board up there, so 24th, 26th of August, so quite interesting there, either which way. Doesn't look like we're going to have anyone today, so I think with that said, oh yeah, look at that. Now that's funny, why does Luke run a Danish flag? If that's even Danish. Either which way, it doesn't look like we're going to be having any of our drivers join us today, so thanks for watching, guys. It's been a somewhat privilege to come out of a good weekend to commentate for you guys and have a nice big rant. Brett Keenan signing out from Belgium, and I'll see you guys again in Italy.